Hello, and welcome to Totally Schway Flipside, a podcast about whatever the hell I want it to be about. And most of the time, Flipside is us talking about the comments.
Yeah, that's right. What's your name?
I was gonna get there.
Would you do it now then?
Your name is Luke.
Yeah, and your name's Mary.
To some.
Yeah.
To others, it's another word that I won't repeat.
No, don't want to get demonetized.
I'm joking. A lot of people in Oklahoma call me Mary Sue.
Mm-hmm.
How very southern.
Yeah.
Anyway, how are you today?
I'm recovering from a cold, if you can probably hear it in my voice, actually. But other than that, everything's fine.
I can't hear it at all.
Oh, good. Well,
Yeah.
maybe the you I was referring to was the collective audience.
Who? You mean our friends?
Yeah, those people out there.
I like them.
Yeah, I know you do.
They're really cool.
Yeah. So what are we talking about today?
We are going to be talking about the comments.
From what?
Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy, latest episode of the Totally Schway podcast, which is all about how BTAS was the most definitive version of Poison Ivy.
Yeah, it's totally the best podcast episode ever that everybody totally needs to go check out.
Yeah. Well, did I sound convinced? I don't know.
Oh.
Answers on a postcard.
I don't know what that means.
It just means write in. Basically, it means don't talk to me.
Okay. Get it.
It's a joke response. Don't worry. They don't know where to send the postcards. Anyway.
That is 704 Timber Lane.
Tim Burton Lane.
No, I was going to say Timbers, but Timbers Lane, sunny, Oregon, Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'm glad everyone caught that. It's...
No, I just did too. In my head, I mixed up 3 different states and a city to come up with that. Answer down below if you know which ones I did.
You mean to tell me that you've just given out false information? Unbelievable. So should we get to the comments then?
Why not?
Yeah, because it is the topic of this episode. So yeah,
we were going to talk about Gibson versus Fender today.
Jordan Gibson versus who Fender?
No. Like Gibson Fender, the guitars.
I don't know.
Of like a Les Paul, or are you more of a whatever else the other one is?
I'm an ambivalent shrug.
To be honest with you, I listen to quite a lot of The Who.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever they use, I like.
Okay, fair enough. But in regards to the first comment, we have Alexandra Fraux, who says, DCAU Poison Ivy may be the most iconic version for many fans and responsible for popularising the character, but I would not consider the best nor definitive. Oh no, immediately there's dissent. While I respect the show for wanting to make Ivy a more independent villain by her origin and connection with Floronic Man, I feel this works against it because Ivy's backstory plays a big part in understanding her character and motivations. She's basically a classic example of a victim of abuse who becomes an abuser. She was manipulated and used by the Floronic Man in his experiments. Now Pamela is the one doing it to her victim.
Oh, she used her government name. Wow.
Similar to Ra's al Ghul, while she cares about environment and plant life, what she's really after is control, to be in power and using others as her puppets. This is why her most recurring partner and love interest is Harley Quinn, someone who is stuck in an abusive relationship with the Joker, which reminds Ivy of who she used to be, hence why she tries to convince Harley to move on from the clown. Ivy being turned into a plant woman by Floronic Man also gives a deep reason for her obsession with plants. Now that she's connected to all plant life, she can feel their pain when they are destroyed by humanity. For humans, they are just plants, but for Ivy, it's like watching a genocide. It's why she can never settle down and let go of her eco-terrorism when she can always the pain and suffering... Oh, she can always feel, probably. When she can always feel the pain and suffering of plants. Floronic Man didn't just trick and experimented on Ivy, he made it impossible for her to have a normal life, a clear allegory for how trauma affects people in a psychological level.
This goes to show that every iteration of Ivy is badass.
Well, I would say I completely understand where you're coming from. Personally, I find the idea of an interdimensional plant man interfering with her really convoluted, and it really makes me groan. I know after Crisis they kind of backed away from that and just said, oh yeah, Jason Woodrow's just a bad man, not an interdimensional plant being. That does improve it slightly, but at the same time, the thing I really like about what the DCAU did, and I think I said this, and maybe I didn't. If I didn't, I apologize. Is that Poison Ivy isn't just another abuse victim. She is just someone that is really mentally unwell. And that's actually quite refreshing. There's a common thing in media where, like, you know, particularly female characters, they are radicalized because they are abused, you know, and that's all very well and good for the most part. But I think it's overdone, and taking that away from Poison Ivy, I actually think improves her. But we are all entitled to our different opinions.
Well, I have a question for you.
Oh no, I didn't realize this was a question and answers podcast.
Are you a woman that has been abused by anybody in this world?
Well, it's now time for me to reveal that no, I'm not.
Well then, shut up.
All right. Fine. That's it. So next time on the Totally Schway podcast, will there even be another one?
So basically, I like when you basically have a woman or man or any character that has been abused that comes out like, you know, the phoenix from the flames. I love that arc, and it's awesome. But sometimes turning them into like supervillains and stuff like that really pisses me off. But in terms of what I've read about the comic book version, and a few different comic book versions of Ivy, I don't mind it. Now the interdimensional person, does it have to be interdimensional? Except for Into the Spider-Verse movies, I'm kind of over the whole, just for a little bit. I won't be over it forever because there's a time and a place. But I'm over the dimensional stuff, like...
Yeah, and can I just say that I've always found it preposterous that there's this, like, hulking plant creature, and his name's Jason. Just like... Okay.
What's wrong with the name Jason?
No, it's just oddly... it lacks grandeur, you know what I mean? Maybe that's intentional.
Jason Momoa, okay?
Yeah, but he's not an interdimensional plant being as far as I'm...
Well, we don't know, do we? Because he can be a lot of things.
Yeah, he can be.
And a great actor is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he is playing the same role a lot of the time.
Well, yes.
But Jason's not too bad.
Should we move on to the next comment?
If you want to.
Okay, well, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
So the next one's from Big Mikey P, Michael Andre Parlon. He says, welcome to the new month of February, guys and gals. Can agree the absence of origins and backstory for DCAU Pamela Isley / Poison Ivy does work. Eco Warriors. One may remember Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, the novel, and first video game having them be antagonists. As a real life aside, the Rainbow Warrior incident is still topical to me after all these years. Can also agree the Sega CD The Adventures of Batman and Robin game is only worth it for the episode 86 cutscenes that fit being an integral to BTAS and the Lost Years TNBA. Look, I'm okay if not glad that Harley x Pamela is a thing, but villainesses are still villainesses. And let's not forget that Poison Ivy is still unhinged to the point of all but stated... I see what he's trying to say. Let's just say abuse in House and Garden, while Harley Quinn is responsible for helping the Joker do things to Tim Drake in Return of the Joker. And so that static shock stint of two girls manipulating a young girl metahuman... And also that static shock stint of the two girls manipulating a young metahuman from Dakota City. I can easily believe Batman Adventures 2003's assumption that the Poison Ivy of TNBA and Gotham Girls is a series of plant clones all the way, and that the real Pamela Isley got away from justice back in House and Garden. Criff, the apocryphal Batman and Harley Quinn. Hey, don't take shade on nature-loving planeswalkers named Jason that much. Did I say this before, that I thought it was preposterous that he was named Jason?
You did.
Yeah, I must have said it before.
You did.
Yes, Joel Schumacher did make Falling Down one of his spectacular films in The Lost Boys. No, we don't talk nicely of Batman and Robin and Batman Forever is better in Peter David's novelisation form, unless and until the Schumacher cut comes out. Speaking of Henry Cavill, he's going to be in the remade Highlander.
Yeah.
Personal book recap, still at Red Storm Rising, The Cardinal of the Kremlin, Dune Messiah, but expecting the latter to be finished in the first week of February 2026. Refinished up with Roald Dahl's Matilda, and even quickly done the same with Fantastic Mr. Fox in anticipation of rewatching the Wes Anderson adaptation. TV show recaps. Scene to Aria, The Natural, episode 21, which features the Galactic Railroad, although in the end, the Cat King spirit benefactor known as Kate Sith, pronounced Kate She, okay, fair enough, like a Scottish fae, was the real topic of the tale. Final episodes 22 to 26 will follow. Nearing the end of the Madoka Magica Scene Zero English fan sub binge. Since February has started, we'll rewatch the original TV series, the 2 compilation movies, and the Rebellion sequel movie while waiting for Walpurgis. More in the movie recap. Oh, good. Really enjoyed Frieren. I'm just tripping over.
Saying noises.
Season 2, episode 2 and 3.
Tell them what I've been watching and reading.
Well, can I finish what he's been doing first? The hero of the South is a Chad Wolf, footbath onsen, and the start of a date between main characters Fern and Stark are new breathers, awaiting episodes 4 and 5 patiently. Do you want to say what you've been reading and what you have been watching?
So, first is I read Fogtown, which I think if anybody here or there, wherever, is looking for something to read that only takes like 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's if you're like slow reading or if you stop and halfway and cuddle your kitty. I'm talking about like Gilgamesh. That sounds really great. I said something about on my Instagram. We watched was it called Wreck Crew?
The Wrecking Crew, yeah.
That was
with the aforementioned Jason Momoa and Big Dave Bautista.
That was alright. Dave Bautista obviously stand out. Always, forever. Jason Momoa, to be honest with you, was just playing Jason Momoa.
Yeah, I don't think he actually read the script. He just turned up and then just...
He produced it as well with Dave Bautista.
That's even more impressive that he didn't even read the script.
But to be honest, it's okay. The ending I did like. It was fine. I cannot remember what else I've been watching. Oh, do they know about my current obsession?
I think you mentioned it before, but mention it again.
Okay, so I watch these videos, these body cam videos on YouTube, and oh boy, I get a weird calm from watching people that have like been really terrible to kids and their own children as well. I get a weird calm when I see them arrested, and they're always like, "You are not allowed to touch me. You are not allowed to do this." It's like, okay.
Yeah, so our home is filled with like the wailing sobs of criminals being dragged away to justice, and that's just Mary's videos. Yeah. I'm sat here going, I'm listening to these people having like the worst day of their life, and it keeps me really on edge. And Mary's just sat there with a big smile, going, "Yeah, you deserve it."
This the shit that comes out of my mouth as well. It's like, I did something very terrible to a kid, and I'm being arrested. Oh man.
Yeah.
I feel kind of mean when I do that, but then I'm like, that kid, because a lot of the times you don't see the face of the kid, but you can hear some of the kids' interview. They deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
Those kids are brave.
Yeah. So to continue Big Mikey P's comment, where he's talking about his movie recap now. He rewatched Denis Villeneuve's Dune Part 1, still a 2020's filmmaking gem. He's going to continue to Dune Part 2 and the aforementioned Wes Anderson's Fantastic Mr. Fox, with the possibility to check out the 2 Unico movies, Japanese audio though, as a change of pace from the fan favourite English superlative dubs.
I hate... They might not know this about me, but they probably do. Big Mikey P, I hate dubs. I hate it. I hate it so much. I want to be able to hear the language that they are speaking. I will read my subtitles, of course, but I want to be able to genuinely experience the movie.
I just remembered one time I accidentally left an insulting comment on someone's YouTube video that they had made where they had dubbed Which movie was it?
Was it accidentally?
No, it was accidentally. So I wasn't trying to insult them, and then I realised after I posted it, I thought actually that has insulted them. But they had dubbed an old 1950s movie in Italian, basically, and I can't remember why I watched it. And I just wrote on there saying, I appreciate the effort, but this pales in comparison to the original English audio. This is why dubbing should not be done, basically. And the guy responded for really sincerely, going, well, I'm trying to learn this craft and I really want to ensure that as many people as possible that don't speak English are able to understand it. And I was like, oh, he's right. I've been such a dick. And I was like, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're right.
I'm more talking about the American type of dubbing where they will change, and I'm not even joking. I have watched it. Don't know what that word was. I used to watch telenovelas in the background with my grandmother on whatever that channel was.
Ocho.
No, I don't know. It was 3 versions of the same one. And one was an hour behind. Loved it. Obviously, we had the subtitles on, and they would do English subtitles sometimes. We watched a Spanish movie that was made in Mexico and everything like that. Loved the movie itself, but when we rented it, it was in. And when I say American subtitles, I mean American subtitles because they changed some of the wording. And it's you don't need to do that.
So subtitles not dubbed.
Or sorry, dubbed is what I meant to say,
Okay.
not subtitles. I love the subtitles. But the dubs were just so atrocious. And my grandma, this is my grandmother and me, and I think I get this from her. I love Godzilla. I love the Godzilla movies. I like the older movies, all of that. And I watched one with her and my brother once, and I remember it was on a TV channel, probably when you have the HBO package or whatever back in the 90s, you got all these other ones. It was on one of those. It had dubs. My grandma turned that television off. She went to Blockbuster. They didn't have it. She went to Hollywood Video. They had it, which is why they were superior. She came back and we watched it with just subtitles and not dubs because that's the way you're supposed to watch movies.
Yes, I agree. I've been watching a lot of edits people have made saying the Peacemaker intro works with everything. So if you've not seen Peacemaker season 2, it always starts with a situation that ends up with a horrible action taking place, and the music starts to play just as the horrible action starts to kick off.
Just like in my head.
Yeah, well, actually, that's basically going on in my head 24/7 now. But someone had done a edit of the closing moments of season 2 of Squid Games, but they'd used the dubbed version, and it broke my brain. I was like, he's not speaking Korean. What's going on? But anyway. I need to finish this comment.
I went on a rant, tyrant, whatever.
5 minutes.
I don't care. I love hearing, if I'm watching a movie, I love hearing the voices and the language that the movie was intended to be in. It's a great learning experience as well.
Yes. Right, so to continue Big Mikey P's comment, I'm going to go straight through to the end with no interruptions. Change of plans on cinema scheduling. Puella Magi Madoka Magica. Oh my god. Walpurgisnacht. I know that's German. Walpurgisnacht. Rising's February 2026 release got delayed again. Oh no. And they'll announce when it's rescheduled later this same month. Betting on thematically appropriate March or April 2026 for March to April 2011, where the timeline for the TV show's in-universe chronology, and April's the same month the show ended after the 2011 Tohoku earthquake delay. Think of it as a 15th anniversary power move. Wanted to also see the Studio 4 Degrees C anime film adaptation of All You Need Is Kill, but it ain't available on my local cinemas. Oh dear, went a bit cockney there. Also, its reviews and financials don't seem to be going well, but I hope it's mostly because of the film being niche. Everyone's talking about Avatar 3, not a masterpiece, obviously, and having a shorter runtime than the spectacular loose adaptation of Edge of Tomorrow. To anyone who has actually checked this film out on their local theatres, any thoughts about it? That was a very long sentence. I nearly asphyxiated.
He didn't.
Assorted recap. Fun aside, been playing Chrono Trigger, which is surprisingly good mobile port. Just defeated Magus for the first time, and can take a break for now. Can't do all nighters. Running out of honey. It's quite the daily commodity for me and family, enough that the stuff has reached to 1/3 levels. Wait, you guys are not sure on what topic is next? Yeah, we forgot to say what the topic was in the next episode because we were too busy wrapping up. We haven't formally decided, but Mary, I would like to propose an episode of Superman to talk about.
Of course,
The Way of All Flesh.
if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I want to talk about Malcolm McDowell and how he's always like this weird, lusty pervert in pretty much every role he plays.
And perfectly so.
Well, in some cases, not so much. Have you seen I'll Sleep When I'm Dead? That's very bad.
Of course I've seen that.
With Clive Owen?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know.
Wait. I'm sure I have.
Yeah.
I'm sure I have.
Well, anyway, let us know in the comments below if you've seen I'll Sleep When I'm Dead and the traumatic scene of Malcolm McDowell. No, I'm not even going to get into it. Don't want to get demonetized. Right, next.
Comment below if you've seen the movie Scum.
No, do not. Do not watch Scum if you haven't seen Scum. Do not watch it. Skip the greenhouse scene entirely.
Unfortunately, I started watching that movie when it was on YouTube.
Oh.
Back in the year of, I'm going to say it.
Why did YouTube allow that?
2005. Wait, 2000. No, I was 2007.
Unbelievable.
I had uploaded the whole thing, but I stopped watching it like 25 to 27 minutes in.
Oh, well, you didn't even get to the worst
No,
bit.
but I still just.
It was a very good film apart from that.
I just don't want to because people were talking about it, and I was like, you know what?
By people, do you mean me?
No, I was looking at the IMDb when they, remember when they had the, I don't even know if they still have the boards anymore.
I think they do.
But I used to read the boards and watch the film at the same time. ADHD, or is it just me?
But thank you for your comment, Big Mikey P. That's taken us about 20 minutes to get through. But the next comment is on the opposite end of the scale, and it's from Poison Ivy's biggest fan, Alex Lemons, I should say, who says, "Well done."
Question.
Shoot.
For them. What is your favorite lemonade?
I don't know that he'll answer.
That's okay.
We'll find out. Right, next we have RJ Productions, who says, as a child I had a crush on Poison Ivy so much so that I would always be annoyed when Batman thwarted her. I wouldn't mind her infecting me with her pheromones. Lol. Yeah, I suppose there are worse ways to die. Anyway, prepare for... Oh, here he goes with a new chapter for his fan fiction. A different side to him. A Lex Luthor Mercy, or in this case, Mercy Graves fan fiction. Chapter 5. Has it really been 5 chapters already? Mercy's POV. Oh, trigger warning for references to self-harm. Well, I don't want us to get demonetized. Let's see how we do.
Yeah, I don't, I make way too much money from the podcast. Way too much money.
Yeah, you're easily able to buy, what, 1 coffee per month?
A half of a coffee.
Now, we have just read through this ahead of time, and actually we're not going to read this out, Harry, because... I mean, yeah.
Let's explain, because it was my decision. I'm always very open about like mental health and stuff like that. I've had quite a lot of struggles with mental health, and I've had friends that have had very serious issues with self-harm and everything, and I've had to witness that. I've also done that myself before, and I just don't want to because Luke read it. I have it, and I don't want to go through that at the moment. So we'll read the next ones that you do, but on this one, please don't take offense to it. It's just something that's very triggering. I think they even said that.
Yeah.
Triggering, and it's true. And thank you for putting that on there. So I'm really sorry. I don't want to bring anything down, but that I will get severely triggered, as far as Luke has told me.
Mm-hmm. So let's move on to Ryan Jones's comment. He says, "Hello, Luke and Mary. Don't worry. It's still me, Ryan Jones. I've just changed my profile picture. Don't worry, I recognized your name because I want to take my channel seriously going forward. Luke, have you seen my Muppet video that I finally posted?" Yeah, I did watch it. I did. Luke, did you know that this year is the 25th anniversary of Justice League and the 25th anniversary of Totally Spies? And to celebrate, I'm planning to do a live stream of Totally Spies, and I hope to bring people that work on the show onto my stream to discuss the show. I did know about Justice League, I did not know about Totally Spies, and I did not know about your stream. I'm not making promises, but my live stream is something I would like to do. I thought to say this in the Wonder Woman episode. Perhaps you mean thought. But what is your opinion on the first Wonder Woman movie? I enjoyed it.
The Gal Gadot one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed most of them except that one particular thing. That one particular scene I did not like because uh yeah. Consent is a thing, okay?
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't mind them. And I know a lot of people didn't like 84 because of, well, I don't actually know. It really took me back to like the late 80s and early 90s movies, but in a modern way. And I think that's exactly what they were going for. And honestly, I loved it. Um, in terms of like the style and everything. I didn't love the movie, but it wasn't the worst thing. But then again, tomorrow you might hear me because of that one scene in particular. I'll be like, no, I hated it. No, I hated it. The whole thing, no. But no, it was all right.
I'll continue the comment then. It says, "Mary, I'd been meaning to say since the Harley Quinn episode, but are you going to get Pokemon Legends Z through A or not?"
No.
Okay.
Because I plan on being severely busy with two games that are coming out. One, the Vampire Survivors game.
Yeah, the dungeon crawler one.
Super excited about that. And one that I completely forgot about until I started getting ads for it on TikTok. Fable. I loved, was it Fable 3 or Fable 2? Fable 2 was probably, it's one of my all-time favorite games. I cannot explain the joy that I hope to receive from this game. Now, do I have time for all of this? I don't know.
I think you do.
Well, I'll have to talk to my boss or something about taking the week off or something when it comes out.
Mm-hmm. To continue Ryan's comment, it says, "Luke, the cartoon community can learn a lot from you. There is a good amount of them that are very toxic because when you have an opinion on a movie or a show that is not the majority, they start to attack you.
That's so stupid.
Also, they're hypocrites, and last year they proved it because they say they want 2D animation to come back and that they support animators, but instead they attack the animators who worked on an R-rated animated movie called Fixed and accuse the movie or ruining 2D animation forever. Look, I'm not saying that you don't like the movie that makes you if you don't like the movie that makes you a bad person. Attacking animators for no reason, that makes you a bad person. Also, they're the worst at award shows when the movie they like doesn't win the best animation movie category on social media because they are terminally online trolls. Also, they say they want Disney to make more original animated movies, but when Elio, the recent Pixar movie didn't do well at the box office, instead of giving it a chance, they started to make clickbait videos claiming that Elio is bad, and that's why it didn't do well, and Pixar is dead, even though Inside Out 2 made over $1 billion at the box office. And they used that success of K-pop Demon Hunters to attack Elio, which made the discussion of both movies awful. Mary, I don't hate you for your political statement in the last episode. After all, superhero media has always been political, and you are not a Trump supporter or support ICE agents. They are thugs, and I can see why they hide their faces because they are very pathetic. I don't like going on news all the time because it's always so depressing, and I want to go to focus and do stuff that I enjoy. I'm sorry, but that is who I am."
You do not need to apologize for not going on the news all of the time because we are human beings and we deserve to have some sort of a life that isn't like chronically online or in front of our televisions. If that's the type of life you want, go for it. I'm halfway there myself. But at the end of the day, we all deserve to find a little bit of joy in our life. And if we have to shut off something to come back to it later, or even if we don't come back to it, we are allowed to do that, because your inner peace is just as important as everyone else's. And everyone needs to remember that, because I myself needed to be reminded of that this past week, because I was following, all of the things going on about like the print or the former prince and this and this, because I live in England, and also the other stuff that's going on in the States, and I had to ground myself a bit. And if I'm playing Minecraft for a little bit because of that, that's okay. That's my happiness, that's my joy, that's my, you know, um my thing to get me away from that. So don't ever apologize for not being on the news websites
Yeah.
of the time.
I will say one thing about the recent news with the release of some of these Epstein files is that it's, in a way, it's sad, but it's also kind of uplifting in a way to find out that a lot of like the most awful things that have been going on globally in the last sort of 20 years or so were mostly at the hands of Epstein and his cronies. So like they were big backers of things like Brexit. They set up 4chan and QAnon and that whole conspiracy about Democrats being like cannibals and paedophiles, and yeah, it turns out it was them starting it.
My thing about that is it is good that these things are coming out, because there is a woman who's no longer with us,
Mm-hmm.
that if these files would have come out just last year, that woman would probably still be here and she would be vindicated. And even in passing, she's vindicated,
Mm-hmm.
just like all of the survivors. And that is important. Whether I don't care what your political affiliation is, it's about the survivors and how most of those women are strong, intelligent women that are getting this out there, and they're helping other people stay strong. And I love that. And they're not just helping women either. They're helping so many people. And I read a lot about it online, because that part, they're taking something that like was so atrociously like horrible, and they are taking that and helping other people. And honestly, that in itself is a blessing, because it could have gone down a completely different path.
Mm-hmm. Should we move on to the next comment?
Yeah. But
No,
I'm not going to apologize about being political anymore.
no, you don't need to apologise for it. Next, we have Doc Widener, who says, "Thank goodness you're here. Speaking of Batman, the Bald Movie Channel is doing their annual Groundhog Day movie marathon for Alzheimer's research. This year it's Batman movies. I'm not sure why they aren't using Mask of the Phantasm, but they are including Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero. Unforgivable."
What channel is this?
The Bald Movie Channel, apparently.
I love that so much. I don't know why, but I'm like, I love that.
What, the Bald Movie Channel?
I've never heard of that before.
How do you know you love it then? It might be...
I love the fact that it's like bald, as in like bald eagle.
Yeah, as in no hair.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay.
It's so on the nose.
Mm. And Doc has written that he will spare me the full list, so that's good. He's coming to the end of a cold spell. We had a little over a foot of snow and have rarely gotten close to 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Most nights have been 0 or below. Sent a picture to Mary yesterday of our car centre showing minus 15 degrees Fahrenheit on our way to a swim meet. Daniel has not had school all week. The first few were because of snow and maybe cold, the last 3 because of the cold. If I wasn't trying to save Luke's voice, I would post the text of the message the school district sent Thursday night. Instead, I sent it to him so that he can concur or not. To set it up, the robo-voice from the district had called earlier in the day to say Friday would be a 2-hour delay. A few hours later, we get a follow-up call. I was expecting them to say they are closed. The voice explains that they come up with their own decisions. Interesting. So we thought, so my thought was they got pushback from parents who wanted it closed, and they were explaining why they weren't closed. And then they veer into, nope, we are closed.
Yep.
Okay. I'm guessing they may have gotten pushback for the closure because it's hard. It is hard if your job or family situation is such that having an adult around. As for Ivy, I always enjoyed her portrayal in B-Tests. You two were so thorough that I don't really have much to add or say to that. I do like Ivy from the Harley Quinn show. Yeah, true.
Mhm.
Fair.
From what I hear, I think I've liked her as well.
Yeah, you probably would.
I'm gonna say something about Doc real quick because I know where Doc lives. I'm not gonna tell everybody.
In a threatening way.
When I check the weather, because I check the weather for 4 places, where we live, London, where I used to live, because some of my family still lives there, and then where Doc lives, because they're all so different. Not the London and where we live, but
Yeah.
from like Oklahoma to Ohio, it is so different because when he sent me that photo, there was one particular photo that he sent of the backyard and everything. And then when I looked at the Oklahoma weather, it was like 58 degrees. I was like, wow, that's so different. But yeah, just want you to know that I check your weather nearly every day.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm not stalking you, by the
Well,
way.
it's a bit hard to stalk someone through a weather forecast, but, you know.
Stranger things.
All right, next we have Lowell Lucas Jr., who says, hooray today, it's totally Schway packing the storage on this ivy-filled Sunday. Mondo toys will never see the light of day. Yeah, at this rate, they won't. Glad to see you're all covering our favourite plant lady, Poisnoki, that lovely redhead of the garden. Funny enough, for almost 5 years I've been bugging Watchtower, to do a video on her after their Patreon poll, even though they could never pronounce my name right. Really? Oh, I'm glad they finally made it. So it warms my cold, scaly heart to see a favourite redhead covered again. Bless y'all. Why do they have difficulty saying Lowell Lucas Jr.?
I have difficulty pronouncing Mary Sue sometimes, okay?
I'll ask James. I will interrogate him. I'll just give him a call and say, James, why can't you say Lowell Lucas Jr.? Answer me. He won't know what I'm talking about.
When I meet them in person one day, which I hope I do, I will be like, I will literally just have a T-shirt that says Lowell.
Oh man, Diane Pershing, such a lovely seductive voice that makes me want to kiss those deadly lips twice. Mama warned me about women like her. I was hoping she was right. She's a perfect example of a siren's call that made you beg your crew to release you from your bondage to embrace her, then quickly realize she can be the exact opposite with her cold, cruel cackle. She just makes you regret ever getting close to her and want to hit her with a truck. That's just the power of her incredible voice actress, and I thank her for the absolutely amazing memories. Definitely a fantastic standout with her Thelma and Louise counterpart, Arlene Sorkin. Those busy little bees look amazing in their jammies. I want to thank you, Goddamn Luke Man, for your incredible coverage of the plant lady from your past videos. Much so, I've even quoted one to Frank Cho for one of his recent Poison Ivy's live drawings for a cover. Oh dear. I think he and the community appreciate the knowledge, and I have to thank you for that education. Oh, what did you say to him? Hopefully nothing to embarrass me. I don't know. Do I say stuff that's embarrassing? Well, it depends. If you're like one of these hate-filled people.
Mine are not on mine.
I was going to say, if you're one of those hate-filled people on Instagram that gets mad at Jordan Gibson for drawing Batman punching out an ICE agent for shooting a child, then apparently, I say many silly things. But I won't even get into that.
Oh, at the end, don't let me forget to give them the riddle.
Okay, there's a riddle.
The one that I told you yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Well, she comes in here, tells me a riddle and says, you're normally good at these, and yet you can't do it. And I said, but
yes, I did.
Yeah. And I was like, you didn't say it properly. You said it in like 2 different ways. Just say it right. One more time. Take it from the top.
I'm so excited, though.
Yeah. She started in the middle, got to the end, and then went back to the start. And I was like, what? Hang on.
That's just how I conversate.
Yeah. Anyway, I also enjoyed the continued growth of Ivy and thank BTS for helping to evolve into something more than a mere villain of the week to fight Adam West. She was a great supporter of Harley to grow beyond the Joker's doormat, has the respect/ire of her fellow rogues, capable of making Superman her puppet, and even seen as an Eve to the Green under Swamp Thing's watchful eye. Honestly, Ivy doesn't need to trick me to have the Cactus Kids. We could talk and work something out. Yeah, like I said, worse ways to die.
Yeah.
In closing, Ivy helped make BTAS another exciting show to rewatch in a series filled with iconic male villains. Sorry, I'm just thinking about worse ways to die. It's great to see another memorable threat that are women, besides Catwoman. Also, I do love her redesign in the new Batman adventures, as she was slowly changing from her Caucasian skin to a pale grey, finally her lavish green. I love it so much that I refused to trade my plastic statue of her with a friend who wanted to trade me his entire BTS collection of figures and statues. I couldn't do it. Till then, all you followers of the green, remember the grass is always greener. TTFN, ta-ta for now. Thank you for your comment, Lowell.
Yeah.
Yes, so who's next? So we have David Carney who says, "Hi Mary and Luke, hope you both have had a good week. Sorting through January's comics while listening. Oh, that's always such a chore. I've just got like I have a plastic box just full of them that I haven't read yet, that I need to find the time to sit down and read them, then I can put them away. But then most of the collection's in storage, so that means that if I do put them away, I have to take them up to storage and then sort them there, and I don't want to do that.
Do you know what I do with my comics?
You leave them in
Whenever
the
I get
box.
them, I put them in Luke's pile, and then they eventually get done.
Yeah. Anyway, to continue David's comment, he says, "Poison Ivy is one of my favourite redheads. Diane Pershing's voice fits the character so well. It was alluring and seductive at the same time. Always enjoyed the Harley and Ivy episodes. Have a good week, everyone." Thank you, David. Hope you have a good week too.
Yeah.
Next, we have the Phantasm, who says, "Greeting to the wondrous duo, and from now on, whenever I write a comment, expect me to write a different adjective before the word duo. So long as it begins with with the letter D, because we want it to be alliterative. So dynamic duo's taken. You could,
Dangerous.
well, yeah, okay, fine. There are others, I'm certain, other adjectives beginning with D. Deadly.
Well, I'm not so deadly. Unless I'm driving, and then...
Dashing.
Yeah.
Dancing. Anyway. It was really splendid having the opportunity to meet face-to-face last week. Yes, I should say that I did meet Aris in London because he was in town while I was in the office for a full week. And so we went and got pizza and then went to Gosh Comics.
Oh, God. Y'all had a date without me? I'm so just shocked. No, I'm kind of jealous, but I didn't want to go in that day because...
Yeah, I did tell you.
Yeah. There was a reason. It's probably a package or something.
Probably.
With my crippling anxiety.
You don't like leaving Gilgamesh alone either.
That's true.
It's funny because he waits for us at the door.
He does.
And when I go to work, Mary sends me pictures of him sat by the door waiting for me to come home. And I'm like, I've only been gone for 45 minutes. I'm going to be gone for 8 more hours. How can you do this to me? Anyway.
My papa.
I'm going to continue the Phantasm's comment. It says, "My sleep schedule is completely out of whack since I came back home. I never get used to the sun setting so fast there. Feels like I don't get to enjoy much of the day." Yeah, I mean, the sun sets quite early in winter. It's staying lighter for longer now.
2:50 today?
No, it'll be like 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Now, in regards to Poison Ivy, I admit that to be a character I've never held in too high regard. From the beginning, I never really found myself drawn to the character, whether it be in comics or animation. I always just find myself gravitating towards other villains for various different reasons. When it comes to the character's portrayal of eco-terrorism, mainly starting with BTAS, what I always thought was missing was a hook to the character beyond her gimmick. Take Two-Face in BTAS, for example. Luke's spider sense is tingling. Yes, he had the gimmick of duality, both visual and metaphorical, but it was coupled with a narrative depth and emotional resonance. I think you mean resonance, perhaps. That aspect I always felt in every medium was missing with Poison Ivy for me, especially except maybe for House and Garden. Not that she had to be automatically sympathetic. Joker's not sympathetic in the least, and he's far more interesting. But something more to latch onto. The character always seemed to end with whatever her gimmick was. Even before plant preservation became her thing, her gimmick was just seducing Batman. And as much as streamlining the character was a benefit, completely removing Jason Woodrue from her life, I felt detracted from her origin and trauma. Yes, all of the multiverse stuff with Woodrow is superfluous, but that could have been streamlined, even when the Harley Quinn show handled that aspect better, and it's rare for me to give praise to that show post-season 3. Now, one of the most significant developments in the character's history also occurred through the DCAU with her relationship with Harley Quinn, albeit without overtly stating the status of the relationship due to the time, but that even has its positives and negatives for how the character is used since. As an aside, anyone who revisited the show after watching it as a kid and claims they were just good friends, you're just imagining what you want to believe, clearly is delusional. But moving on, the reason I said it can have both positive and negatives is because the trope the characters can often be mischaracterized as is being stuck as just Harley's girlfriend and her individuality starts to disappear, a trap many writers have fallen into. That extends to the character's alignment towards good and bad, with, in my opinion, flimsy justifications for writers to absolve her just to have her as part of a superhero team. So did BTAS redefine the character? Sure, but I don't think they gave her nearly the same amount of depth they are known for with other characters. I do appreciate her physical transition from BTAS to TMBA, with her starting to look more with her starting more human looking, and other times she looks more and more plant like. And generally I prefer when Ivy is much more overtly a metahuman with green skin and able to control plants with her mind instead of simple plant formulas and plant traps. But I don't want her to automatically start out that way. The transition I think is important, and to be clear, I do quite enjoy the theory of the real Pamela actually leaving Gotham and having a plant clone pretend to be her, but I honestly don't have strong feelings for or against it. So yes, that has been my opinion on the character for the longest time and is what prevented me from ever really appreciating the character. But that definitely has changed for me after the absolute greatest portrayal and writing of the character has ever been presented, and without question that is G. Willow Wilson's Poison Ivy run. Her current run on the character, in my opinion, is one of the most surprising recent successes in comics, starting as just a 6-issue miniseries and slowly evolving into a long-running ongoing with 40 issues still going strong. Her take on the character has far surpassed the depth and care given to the character in any previous iteration, whether it be comics or animation. Yes, far more than BTAS Ivy, as influential as it was. G. Willow Wilson has proven herself as the definitive Poison Ivy writer in my opinion, and is now the gold standard for the character. And one moment in particular, but now considered a crucial landmark moment in Ivy's history, is when she devoured Jason Woodrue to make sure he didn't recover. I pity whoever handles the character after her. Never have bigger shoes needed to be filled for the character. Yeah, the Poison Ivy comic is good. Actually, I just had the latest issue turn up today, although I've not read it yet.
Was that literally we paused it? So you
Yeah, yes, that's right. They're making her the mayor of Gotham all of a sudden. So that'll be interesting with Vandal Savage as the chief of police. And...
Is this the absolute one?
No, this is regular comics.
Oh.
But yeah, we'll see how that works out. Right, so how many more comments have we got? 2 more to go. So we have Scream Wiper, who has his chicken update and says, being sad about Doris's death took me out of the headspace for thinking of things to say about Wonder Woman last time. I did think about some things, but forgot them all except for my opinion that the skirt versus hot pants debate. I think that generally the hot pants look sexier, but the skirt fits the character better, more reminiscent of an antiquarian warrior. As for Poison Ivy, I love the whole eco-terrorism side of her, appreciate the DCAU for introducing that. As an environmentalist myself, it makes her very sympathetic to me, and the issues raised presents audiences with challenges and questions to think about. Imagine her debating Captain Planet. Now there's an image.
Oh, I'd watch that.
Also, gotta love how sexy she is when not portrayed as a minor. Also, funny little story, my last girlfriend was a natural redhead, and we got together by her coming to the flat I lived in at the time, dressed in a green plant-themed outfit very reminiscent of Poison Ivy. She knew I liked the character. And seducing me! Unbelievable. Did you call the police? I would have.
Well, I guess I will go put my Poison Ivy costume back since it is
Send it back.
8 sizes too small.
I was going to say, call the police. Come on. Anyway, let's move on to the all-important chicken news from Saturday the 31st of January. Firstly, sorry for shifting the tone last episode and making it go all sad with the news of Doris dying. I tried to make her not have to die. Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah, we know.
These things happen.
We know.
We had Doris's funeral on Sunday. The chickens watched from their perches, and I think they got a glimpse of what was going on. They seemed sad afterwards, but for the past couple of days they've just been a little extra curious of the house, as if perhaps wondering whether Doris was inside. Now they know Doris's fate. They weren't sad for long, though. Once they get their closure, chickens can move on quite quickly. They were soon asking me for their afternoon treat foods and had a little wake for Doris. I need to start pairing dead hens together in the same pot, or I'll run out of space on my deck sooner rather than later. So Doris is buried in the same pot as her aunt Delta. I dug as far down as Delta's skeleton. I look at dinosaur skeletons sometimes, and I ate many chickens in my youth, so I was prepared for this, but it was still a bit weird. Looking at the bones from an animal with whom I used to be friends, I managed to not disturb her body much, only disarticulating a couple of leg bones. I'm sure she's too dead to mind. Betty has been excellent. She appeared to be trying to comfort me during a couple of times. I displayed sad behaviour around the hens and let me cuddle her with no fidgeting or fuss. The other two hens have been pretty well behaved, and I cuddle them too, actually. Wilma's been laying more eggs lately. I tell her to slow down or she'll overdo it. She doesn't seem worried, as her shells remain good quality for now, but I doubt they will much longer if she doesn't take more days off. She's also been pulling feathers out of other hens' bums more. She stops when I discipline her. I think she's after attention, maybe trying to manipulate me into giving more treats as a distraction.
We know someone like that.
Yeah.
Gilgamesh.
Mabel is doing well. She hasn't laid any eggs since Doris died, but she's had these breaks off work during winter, so I'm not sure that's related. Betty has been hanging out with her in a very friendly fashion a lot, so she's getting comfort if she is missing Doris or scared she will be next. I was worried that Betty would pick on Mabel, as now Mabel is closer to her in pecking order rank, but thankfully she's doing the opposite.
Good.
Tomorrow, Sunday 1st of February, is Wilma and Betty's 4th birthday. Wilma has been asking me for cheese today, and the hens get some for the birthday, as well as some cinnamon-spiced rice and some sweet corn. Sunday 1st of February, it was Wilma and Betty's 4th birthday today. Their nutritious mush breakfast had crushed cornflakes in it to make it extra special. Their birthday treat cage contained red cabbage, iceberg lettuce, a tomato, a strawberry, cinnamon spiced rice, and a cooked and warm corn on the cob, marinated in olive oil. I got a corn on the cob too. They had a bit of egg laid by Mabel as a snack, and for supper they had cheese. Spoiled AF, but they deserved it. They're such
like
good
a dinner
girls.
that I would have.
It does a bit, yeah, doesn't it? They're such good girls, such clever and sweet and loving and strong and brave girls. Mabel did get to eat treats too. Tuesday, 3rd of February. Betty is exhibiting behaviour that she's going to lay an egg soon, climbing things as if looking for a high place up to lay her egg. She sat on the garden fence and made an uncharacteristically large amount of noise. Maybe she just wanted help getting down, but she did it fine on her own. The "Daddy, I Need Help" song and the egg song are very similar, and Betty has sang neither for a very long time. Wilma, after being spoiled with feasts for Sunday because of birthday and Monday because the hens were locked in the aviary all day while I was working in Cardiff, wanted another feast today. She jumped on my windowsill to hassle me. I told her she was very clever to get up there, but she can't have another feast. However, the hens can have another strawberry and tomato. She then turned around and flew off the sill, all the way down the stairs and landed down in the garden path. Very athletic. Friday, 6th of February. Betty is out of retirement and laying eggs again for the first time in nearly a year. First thing this morning, when leaving the coop, she went to the green box in which they can sit and was talking. I went to see what she was talking about and found an egg that she must have laid yesterday. It wasn't Wilma's, as it was a different shape, very elongated. Plus, there's also a Wilma egg in there. I guess Wilma was in a anything you can do, I can do better mood, as she normally lays in the coop. Annoyed she didn't take a day off. She's working a lot at 5 eggs a week, and I don't want her overdoing it. Thankfully, she had a day off today. Betty didn't. She laid another egg. Less odd a shape this time. Shell's okay. Quality so far. Like Wilma, she's under probation, and at first sign of danger, she'll be in HRT to stop her making eggs. So that's hormone replacement therapy.
Yeah, I figured this one.
Mabel's been had a pleasantly uneventful week. Bertie's not always as nice to her since laying eggs again, but it's nothing a few more tellings off won't fix, and she's already bucked up her ideas. Wood pigeons are hanging out in my trees more now. I wonder if one of the adults is that chick I saved last year, and the hens are feeling a bit jumpier and more territorial as a result. Well, that was the end of the chicken update.
We love the chickens.
Yeah.
The chickens sound like a hoot. See what I did there?
Yeah.
I mixed up a different birdie.
Yes, it was a bird pun.
I love the chickens. Don't apologize for telling us about the chickens, by the way.
You can share the bad news along with the good news. It's all gravy.
Because we love animals. We love critters.
Right, final comment now, and this is from, I believe it's a new commenter, but I might be mistaken, so I apologise. And it's Betts, GG Betts, and it's a GG Bert. I really like how they define poison ivy and B-test. No allusions to previous unwanted experience, though those happen in real life all too often. Intelligent, as many A-list villains are in Batman. Actually cares about others. Has a somewhat reasonable goal, though in her own twisted way, again like many well-written villains. And even fights for herself. No shrinking violet there. Pun intended, she will go full fisticuffs. House and Garden was such a perfect send-off too. I didn't like her later appearances, especially visually. I think B-Tess did a nice balance of attractive and modest. I'm not a prude at all, but it seemed better for something aimed at children. I don't know, that's my take. She definitely fits my, if ex-villain got a job from Bruce Wayne / he funded their research, they wouldn't really be a big problem theory. No story there though, I guess. Fun collab as usual. Thank you for your comment. And that's the end of the comments. My voice, I've had to pause a few times to that because it's been giving out, but I think we made it just about.
I think next time I will be finished with my beading project. In case you guys don't remember me telling you, I like to do stuff while I'm listening to the comments being read off by Luke and answering some of them myself. I do this like bedazzling thing on. I like. I'm just gonna go on about it now. I like collecting the retro mini-verse figures, and I've had so many of the white balls that they come in, and I didn't want to throw them away because, I mean, it could be such a useful little thing because it's like a giant gotcha ball. So what I've been doing is I've been making Christmas ornaments, and I put a few of them up last year, and they're actually really nice. So I'm trying to do that again this year, but I also started collecting some of the Barbie ones that are only like a pound or something like that. And it's mainly for the actual gotcha balls because it's Barbie pink and Barbie light pink. Literally, those are the colors. So yeah, that's that's what I do. Um, I love you guys so much. I am so happy that all of you exist, and I am so happy that you choose to be friends with me. And yeah, Luke and I are going to be going to the Batman Orchestra tomorrow, Batman 89, and that is going to be awesome. So we will talk to you next week when we talk about, and I'll let Luke do this.
The way of all flesh.
Yes. All right. Love you guys. Bye. Oh, drink water.